I'm not like Tom. He's a really technical expert. I'm doing policy research. So my presentation only introduce what China is doing now and what China will do, and also put our own recommendation. So we are actually, just like the first presentation I mentioned about, we are doing some nuclear power development planning, policy design. Something new from us, but just let me start. The third generation now, I think that this year and last year is a perfect year. So all the pilot phase third generation AP1000 and also the 2 units from France is getting into commercial operation. And also fourth generation, and I also talk about a little bit with that, what we are doing right now, just like a smaller size, the generator and the technical roadmap is not yet fixed. So we are trying to do almost many things in China. So the research under D is going to very well, but let's see what happens for that one. The fifth generation is really nowadays in my team is focusing on that. We strongly recommend to put huge money on that side and to accelerate the research and the development process for this one. But let's have a look. The AP1000 is really take a very long time. There's so many arguments on that. So far, the cost is around something like 20,000 Chinese yuan per kilowatt. It's around 2,600 US dollar per kilowatt. This is the cost right now, but the expert in China hopes the cost could be reduced a lot in the near coming future. So this is the roadmap where we have Salmon number 1, which AP1000 last June in 2018, and also we have Salmon unit number 2, also AP1000 in August last year. Haiyang followed that one is Haiyang number 1, also AP1000. After that is a Taishan with the EPR with the unit. Oh, sorry, the first 3 units is 1.25 gigawatt per unit. The EPR in Taishan is 1.75 gigawatt per unit. It's huge. And also in last year. And by this January and February this year, the Taishan number 2 also started commercial operation. And also the Haiyang number 2 for AP1000 is also January of this year. So all the 6 units we in China tried for the AP1000 and EPR. So far they finished. Now it's going to next phase. But next phase is not yet quite clear what to do. But right now, the Chinese decision is a little bit complex. Last year, we have announced that several new generator for third generation will be start construction this year. First is Tianwan 2 units will use the Russian technology. And start the construction by this year. And also Xudapu nuclear power plant also will use 2 units of Russian technology with also third generation. And the other ones, China decided to at least to use a Chinese own technology, that's a Hualong technology, Hualong number 1. This also got approved and start operation last month. Construction, prepared for the construction in last month. So by now we have 8 units get approved by today, because after Fukushima, China nearly stopped. No more new nuclear reactor approved in last 3 years. So the end of last year, 2018, is the first time China started to approve some new reactors. So by now, by this June, it's all the 8 units approved. So in the coming several months, again, I think we hope every year we have 10 units per year approved. All of them will be third generation. But right now, whether China will go to Hualong #1 or go to AP 1000 or AP 1400 is not yet fixed. Several projects waiting for approval for the AP 1000 or AP 1400 in the table of the NEA. But seems they are still looking at that. But by following this roadmap, it seems that the Chinese Hualong #1 is going fast than that one. But by including the Russians' technology, we also have EPR. So far, we have some major third generation technologies. We cover 4 technology of that. China is doing one by one with that one. But by thinking about every year, we will have 10 units. Maybe we can try really different technology for such kind of roadmap. And for the Hualong #1, which is HPR 1000, we already have some planning. Seems that we do see some shifting. Some power plant, nuclear power plant want to use AP 1000 before, but now they shift to be used HPR 1000. The planning is right now, like Fuqing, we have #5 and #6 units will be used at Hualong, and Fangchenggang #6 and #4, and the Ningde nuclear power plant we use #5 and #6. Together with Changjiang in Hainan province, #3 and #4, and Zhangzhou #1 and #2. Zhangzhou will have 8 units, so the #1 and #2 will be the first 2 of Hualong, but not yet decided #3 or #4 whether to use AP 1000 or AP 1400. So this is not yet fixed, but it seems like the third generation will be at least dominate China's future development for nuclear power plant in China. Everything will go to third generation if they make decision right now. And for the fourth generation, we have 1 unit under construction, which is 200 megawatt one in Shidaowan. Based on today's, actually 2 weeks ago, they report that they want to start commercial operation next year. It's also quite delayed compared with the planning. But let's see what happens for that one. At least 2021, anyway, they will go to commercial based. But now, 2 weeks ago, they announced they want to go to commercial operation next year. Seems everything's okay now. And also, China plan, this is the only one under construction for the fourth generation one. So they are trying the technology, which is HTGR technology. But in the meantime, in Beijing, in Jiangxi province, the Chinese Nuclear Corporation also plan to do a 600 megawatt one for the same technology. They just start to prepare for that one. The site is decided, and they start the construction process. They want to start the construction this year. But so far, I don't have very good message from this one. It's only the planning on this one. And also Fujian, Xiapu nuclear power plant, they already started prepared for the construction for CFR 600 with a 600 megawatt one, fast neutron reactor, and decided in 2017. They also have a prepare for this project. So far, they will have the message for this 3, for the first generation. Of course, we have some small units. Let's see. First generation is because Mr. Bill Gates also went to China. Actually, I met him 2 years ago to sign a contract with China Academy for engineering to do the TWR, traveling wave reactor technology. So China also quite interesting on this kind of technology. Even inside the NEA, National Energy Administration, they established one office to work on this technology. And also in 2018, last year, China also signed a contract with Russia with the new technology we can learn from Russia. In the meantime, we also have research center work together with US, with DOE. It's the process right now. China is development as a fourth generation like this process. Hopefully, in the coming future, China can make actual move, just like the 3 units can start the construction maybe this year or next year. But for the nuclear fusion technology, China actually joined the ITER project. I do see a lot of progress right now in Anhui province, in Hefei city. That's the Chinese Academy of Science research base. Some new progress by today. And also, just last year, Chinese government support the R&D project with want to put nearly 10 billion Chinese yuan to do the nuclear fusion technology, which is put in the key research project. In that project, we'll support 5 to 6 research projects to do the nuclear fusion. But our proposal is want to increase that largely, even though the which technology will pick up by China not yet fixed. The ITER project is doing the Chinese FAST project. But now that the plan is not going like this way, China already make their long-term plan for the nuclear fusion, 500 megawatt pilot project before 2035. After that, we'll do the 1 gigawatt unit, which is commercial operation for nuclear fusion. But right now, I do see the slow progress. That's the reason why we want to propose some big budget to do nuclear fusion project. China have the ability to do such kind of big budget. For example, something like 100 billion yuan within 2 or 3 years to spend on the nuclear fusion technology development by different research team. For example, now they will have China Academy of Science doing on that. We also have China Academy from Automatic Research Center. We also have the 3 big companies. They have their own research center to do. So all this research institute show they're very big interesting to do the nuclear fusion technology. So it's a timing for China to start such kind of thing. Otherwise, our scenario for 2050 is a little bit have to rely on current technologies. Now our picture, we think about the future development of nuclear. So this is also our proposal. We are thinking about to establish a group of similar with the ITER project, but by inviting so many countries can join us, including the colleague from Australia and many other countries. So even some private companies doing the fusion technology right now. So this could be a group effort. We can work together. The last slide, I want to show you some other technologies. Yes, still under development in the research institute. American South Reactor is our case. We have one team is working hard on this. They always report us progress on this one. And also Traveling Wave Reactor, China Institute of Atomic Energy, that's a CIAE, and also National Nuclear Company Corporation also want to build a 600 megawatt in Xiapu. It's the same site with the 4th generation one in Fujian province after that. So so far the planning, both Chinese side and US side, they start working on this pilot phase. And 2 years ago, because China is doing very big effort to control air quality, so the low temperature reactor for heat supply is getting to be very big size. I think at least what I know is right now is 6 projects under construction to do in 6 cities, because each unit for low temperature reactor for heat supply could be enough for 600,000 people for space heating. So some medium-sized city in China is quite interesting on this, because right now the data from them is this show is quite cheap. It's much cheaper than gas-fired boiler for space heating. but we don't have very good regulation to do such kind of thing. So the three nuclear company in China is trying their own different technology for this. So almost 2 pilot projects for each of them is trying in China under construction. Let's see what happens next year. 1 or 2 of them will finish by next year, smaller size with a smaller reactor in China. So this is what I want to talk. I'm not a really technical people. I cannot talk more detail for this one, but this is a general picture for China is doing right now. Thank you.